Hey, this is Eric, and in this video we're exploring the new AI image generation tool in Google Slides. A while back, Google announced a new set of AI tools coming to Google Workspace, which they are calling Duet AI. These features help you create with AI right inside a Docs, Slide, Sheets, Meet, Gmail, and more. I recently got access to the new Duet AI integration for Google Slides called Help Me Visualize. This is a text-to-image tool that lets you type in a description of the picture you want, and then the AI creates several images to match your request. Text-to-image generation is a popular and powerful AI tool as seen in DALL-E, Midjourney, Canva, Bing Image Create, Adobe Firefly, Scribble Diffusion, and many other services. It is exciting to see how this feature is now available right inside of Google Slides. Let's take a look at how this works. So at the moment, Duet AI is only available as part of Google Workspace Labs, where Google selects users to experiment with new generative AI features in Workspace and then provide feedback to Google so they can improve the features before they're broadly available. Now, if you're interested in applying to join Workspace Labs, you can do that at workspace.google.com/labs-sign-up. I'll put a link in the description below the video as well. Now, eventually, these new tools will be available to all users, but for now, I will show you how they work. So if you do have access to Duet AI, you will now have a new Help Me Visualize option in Google Slides. You can access this by clicking on Insert and then Image and then choosing Help Me Visualize, or you can just click on the Help Me Visualize button up in the top toolbar. Either way, once you do this, the Help Me Visualize side panel will open up. With the side panel open, you can now type in your text prompt to describe the image that you want generated. Now, Google's going to give you some suggestions up here to get you started, or if you look down at the bottom, you'll see an inspiration example section where there are some sample prompts and images, such as an elegant bouquet of flowers on a white marble table, or a plate of tacos with steam rising from them. Or we've got cosmic galaxy artwork, digital art, soft focus, and finally a hidden city with waterfalls and wooden tree houses with pagoda roofs, detailed fantasy illustration with dramatic lighting. Now, as a tip off of Google's help page, they do mention that for better results, consider including the subject, setting, distance to the subject, materials, or background, and to avoid figurative language in your prompt. So an example they give is a close-up of a boat made out of wood on a lake surrounded by trees at sunrise. Now, for our example today, we're going to use a castle on a hill at night above a river and a forest with a moon in the sky. We'll go ahead and put that prompt in there and then simply click on the Create button to generate the images. It'll normally take about 20 seconds for Duet AI to generate a set of images, and normally you'll get 8 generated pictures, but sometimes you may get fewer if the service is especially busy. Now, to use any of these images, simply give a click on the thumbnail of the picture, and that will drop it right into your slide. At this point, you can treat it just like a regular image. If you want to move it around or resize it or rotate it, of course you can crop it. Just give a double click on it to open up the cropping bars. Whatever you need to do, you can treat that like a normal image. You can also give feedback to Google by clicking on the thumbs up or the thumbs down icons below each image. And if you decide that you need more pictures than the ones you got there, just click on the View More button at the top, and that will generate an additional set. And there we go. And actually, I think that one turned out really well there. How about if we remove that other one and let's put this one in its place. That looks fantastic. Now, you can further customize the generated images by adding a style. Now, you can do this in 2 different ways. First, you can use the Add Style drop-down, or secondly, you can edit the prompt to include more style details. Now, if you decide to use the Add a Style dropdown, you can choose from the following options. There's photography, background, vector art, sketch, watercolor, cyberpunk, and I'm feeling lucky. Now, I went ahead and tried out each one of these, so I'll show you some examples of some that I pre-created using these different style options. So first, I used the same prompt, but used photography as the style choice. And then next, here are some examples where I chose vector art for the style. Up next, a couple examples where sketch was chosen as the style. And then next up, we have two options with watercolor for the style choice. After that, here's some where I chose cyberpunk, which probably doesn't lend itself as much to castles, might work better in a cityscape or something like that, but there you go, there's the examples with cyberpunk chosen as the style. And then finally, these two were created with the I'm feeling lucky style choice. Now, do note the background option for style is a little bit different than the others. We'll go ahead and create this and show you what I mean. There we go. So if you choose an image that was generated with background as the style, when you click on that image, it actually sets the background of the slide to that particular image. Now, unfortunately, the AI generated image is going to be square, and if your slide is rectangular, as many of them are, the picture will get stretched to fit the background, which will distort the image. So hopefully Google will add an option to set the aspect ratio for the generated images so that they can fit a variety of slide sizes in the future. Now, instead of using the Style drop-down option, you can also affect the look of your generated images by just adding more details to your original prompt. Let's take a look at some examples where I included more descriptions in the original prompt. All right, so for this first one, it was my original prompt of a castle on a hill at night above a river in a forest with a moon in the sky, but I added in the style of Vincent van Gogh to the original prompt, and it generated these images. And for the next two, I simply added paper mache of a castle on a hill, etc., 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 and it generated these versions. Or here are two examples where I added isometric pixel art of a castle on a hill, etc., etc. And here's two more fun ones where I added to the end of the prompt, made out of Lego bricks. And then finally, here's two examples where I put stained glass art of a castle on a hill, etc., etc. So the possibilities for different styles are as endless as your imagination. As with all AI tools, the first step is learning how to use it. The next step, though, is learning what to use it for. As educators, we're always trying to think of creative ways to use technology for teaching and learning. So here are just a few quick ideas I considered for this new AI feature. So for our first example, we have writing prompts. Writing prompts are a great way to get students started on a story. However, instead of just text, an image can be a powerful inspiration. You can use the Help Me Visualize tool to create an image from a writing prompt, and then you can provide the students with the image and have them use it as inspiration for their writing. For this example, I used the writing prompt, a penguin on a skateboard in the desert, and then we had a story written based on that picture. For another idea, we could illustrate stories. So illustrations can help bring a story to life. Using the Help Me Visualize tool, students can generate pictures to go along with their stories or poems or other writings. As an example, I took one of the poems I wrote for my grandkids called The Third Cow, and I used the Google Slides AI to generate images to go along with each of the different stanzas of the poem. And for a final example, we have customizing slideshows. Because, of course, you can always use Duet AI to simply generate images to customize whatever slideshow you are creating. Sometimes it can be challenging to find just the right picture for your presentation, but using Google's AI provides a convenient way to get a specific image that is free to use however you need. So I use Slides AI to help me make the title image for my blog post that goes along with this video. I use the prompt, a cute robot painting a picture on an easel. And that's it. I am excited to see how this Duet AI tool will continue to develop. As we often say regarding AI, this is the worst it's ever going to be. It's just getting more powerful from here. I'm also very excited to hear more ideas for how this new feature can be used. I would love to hear your thoughts and learn from you. And for all the rest of my educational technology resources, be sure to visit my site at ControlAltAchieve.com, follow me on Twitter, subscribe to my YouTube channel, sign up for my email newsletter, and check out my book, Control Alt Achieve: Rebooting Your Classroom with Creative Google Projects. Thanks so much, and take care.